In this video we explain in great detail the speed time graph, and explain how to plot the acceleration time graph from the velocity time graph. Please subscribe us. In the part 14, we said the concepts without calculation. In part 15, we explained the calculation method. In this part, we will tell the graph velocity time tips. We present this tips with an example. This example contains many details and concepts. And it has 3-step. Example. Velocity time graph of a moving object that moves in a straight line as shown below. A. How many meters per second is the maximum velocity of a moving object? We first examine the whole graph. At moment 0, the velocity of the moving object is 2 meters per second and moves in the positive direction of the position axis. This is called initial velocity. The velocity of the moving object decreases. At moment 1, the velocity becomes 0. That is, it stops for a moment and changes direction. After 1 second, its velocity reaches 2 meters per second, but in the opposite direction of the position axis. It then moves with the same velocity from second 2 to second 5, and at 5, it slows down. And at the 8th moment, the velocity becomes 0, and after that, the direction of movement of the object changes, and its velocity reaches 3 meters per second in the positive direction of the position axis. Now we answer to part A. This part wants the maximum velocity. Answer to A. The maximum velocity of a moving object is 3 meters per second. B. At what moment did it have the maximum velocity? Answer to B. If you look at the graph, the maximum velocity is at 9 seconds.
C. What times the object moves in the direction of the coordinate axis, and what times it moves in the opposite direction? Answer to C. Wherever the velocity is positive, the moving object moves in the direction of the position axis and vice versa. From moment 0 to moment 1, and from moment 8 to moment 9 it moves in the direction of the coordinate axis. From moment 1 to moment 8, it moves in the opposite direction of the coordinate axis. D. At what times the object is stationary? Answer to D. In moment 1 and moment 8, velocity of the object is 0 for a moment, so the object is stationary. E. What is the change in velocity of the moving object in the first 4 seconds? Answer to E. The velocity of object at moment 0 is 2 meters per second. And at moment 4 the velocity of the object is negative 2 meters per second. Therefore, the velocity change is negative 4 meters per second. F. How many meters per square meter is the average acceleration of an object in the first 4 seconds? Answer to F. According to the previous part, the change in velocity is negative 4 meters per second. And this change of velocity happened in 4 seconds. So the average acceleration during this period is -1 square meter per second. G. At what point is the velocity of the object 2 meters per second? Answer to G. This section has 3 answers. First, the moment is 0. Second, from moment 2 to moment 5. Third, at the approximate moment 8.9.
In the next example, we examine the acceleration time graph. Example. This graph is for a car moving in a straight line. Draw an acceleration time graph. Answer. Use the part 15 method. The acceleration in the first 3 seconds is 2 meters per square second. In the next 4 seconds, because the velocity is constant, then the acceleration is 0. You can calculate the acceleration in the last 2 seconds. Is equal to 3 meters squared per second, but because the velocity of the object is decreasing, we write negative 3 meters squared per second. Please subscribe us. Please see part